And now I am working as an instructor at American University in Baghdad here. So I just relocated. Congratulations again for making this achievement and coming this far. It's really amazing milestones. I hope you all the best. Inshallah, you will get most of the knowledge and experience that we gained through Chevening journey. And yes, I'm so excited for this session, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hanan, for this brief and rich introduction of yourself. Let's give the floor to Mr. Abdullah Al-Fakhrey from Mosul.
Thank you, Salah. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm so excited to share knowledge and to exchange discussions about your interview stage. I'm Abdullah Al-Fakhrey. I did my master's in University of Glasgow. I did robotics and AI engineering. I'm now working in University of Mosul as a lecturer and researcher. I really enjoy sharing information and tips with cohorts, different Chevening cohorts every year. I did my Chevening journey in 2021, 2022. And yeah, hopefully we will get into this discussions and tips today, and hopefully it will be very useful and beneficial for you for your interview stage. Thank you, Salah.
Thank you so much, Abdullah. Thank you so much, Hanan. I think it's time to introduce myself. Many of you already met me. My name is Salah Essa, and I'm originally from Diyala province. I had a master's degree in linguistics from Queen Mary University of London during the 2020-2021 cohorts, the COVID-19 cohorts that forced us to stick in our homes. Currently, I work as IELTS speaking examiner with British Council, Iraq and Erbil. Also, I work as an English language instructor with Ahmed East Iraq, also in Erbil. This is a brief introduction about myself. I have applied for the Chevening Scholarship 4 times, and I received it at the 4th attempt. I was ready to apply more and more until I get it. So congratulations for those who received it again, and for those who haven't received it, unfortunately, who are not present with us. I wish them, and we all wish them, all the best for the next applications for the Chevening or the Fulbright or any other scholarship. Thank you very much. And now I would like to share the screen so that we can start the explanation process for the Chevening interview. Once we are done with the introduction of this process, and if you have any questions, please keep your questions until the end of the session after our explanation has concluded. We will give you the floor to ask your questions, so make sure you have questions, you have notes while we are delivering this session. And whenever you are ready to ask questions, please raise your hands and begin by introducing your name, yourselves briefly in one sentence. Bear with me one moment so that I can share the screen with you. Share screen. And then it's just 1 second, please.
Just press slideshow so the screen will be bigger for everyone.
Sorry, Hanan, I couldn't hear you clearly. Could you please repeat?
Just press the slideshow so only we can see the slides.
Yes. Let me admit everyone else so that I can press. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
No problem. So again, this is the Chevening Scholarship interview session conducted or delivered by Hanan Ahmed, Chevening alumni at Queen Mary University of London, Abdullah Al-Fakhrey, Chevening alumnus from University of Glasgow, and myself, Salah Essa, from Queen Mary University of London. We will begin with Dr. Hanan for the first slide. For some facts, she's going to narrate some facts for you for the next 3 slides. Go ahead, Dr. Hanan. Here's the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Salah. Again, guys, congratulations. It's really a significant milestone. We just need some energy and passion, please. Be passionate about what you got, where you are, and what is the next. At the beginning, I just want to share something. What we are telling you, some facts that's present in the Chevening website. Some other of the information is based on our own experience. It's not a rule. It's not a must, but it's just things that happened with us. So we are here to just share with you some tips and tricks to do your best during the interview date. So the first thing, you have enough time. You have plenty of time. The interview gonna start in April, so almost you have 20 days from now, maybe for some of you. So you have enough time to get ready, to prepare yourself, to get used to the process. Alaikum assalam. To get ready and make yourself ready to the interview date. And you have to know it is not an exam. It's just an interview to tell them your story. So just be relaxed. There is no need to be panic. They got impressed by you during the essays. They read your essay. They get impressed. This is why you are here. We have thousands of applicants from Iraq applied. Only 70 of you got shortlisted from Baghdad and Erbil. So you are already leader or potential leader. You just need to tell them your story in person. They already read your story during your essays. So just be genuine and relax, and it is just like a conversation. It is not 100% competency based interview, because it's not job interview. They're gonna ask some question related to motivational things, what you want to do after coming back to Iraq besides studying in the UK, what other things you want to do. So there is some motivational related question, opinion questions, situational question, technical questions, and there's purpose behind asking each this kind of question, because they just want to see you as a leader, how passionate you are, what is your vision, what's your mission. You are just focusing on study, or as a person, you have some other goals and activities and hobbies you want to do. So just keep it in mind, relax, chill, know your story, trust yourself, trust the process, and be ready for the interview date. Salah, can you please go to the next slide, because I'm joining through my phone. I can't change the slides.
Yes, of course, no worries. So here is the next one.
Yes. So you know yourself better. It is your story. You mentioned the story in a very brilliant way. So be yourself. If you are introverted, if you are extroverted, if you are a shy person, if you smile too much, if you have very active and your body language is really nice, just be yourself. Don't act anything. They will like you, by the way, just the way you are. So know yourself and be yourself. Be realistic. You will stand out. Don't try to fake anything. Don't try to fake news stories. Don't try to fake things that doesn't happen. But you think, if I say this, they will get impressed. No, they like genuine, realistic people, because this is the things that the leader should contain or should have. So be yourself, be realistic, and you will stand out. Then you have to brainstorm your application. You have to go thoroughly through your essays. You have to know every detail you have mentioned in your essay. You have to have justification for any question that might come out along the way. Then you have to expect all relevant question. Maybe the question is just not related to your essay. Maybe, for example, if you are a person, you did career shift. Maybe the whole interview will be related how you did this, how you decided to do the career shift, what the challenge you have faced when you decided to career shift as a leader, how you overcame the challenge, what you learned from it. So the interview is different from one person to another. Maybe there is some common question between all of you, but the interview, for example, between me and Salah, it is different, because we have different stories, different majors, and so on. So you have to be ready for all type of question. The question that's related to essay, the generic question, and some question maybe pop up when you're trying to say something, you are explaining something, and I got, okay, this is nice. Let me check how he did this, did that, or how he gonna, if he faced something. So I will ask you some follow-up question. So this is how it works. And then you have to do a good research. As a leader, you have to know every detail that mentioned in the Chevening website. It doesn't make sense asking them questions that already mentions in the website. As a leader, you have to know all the information. To stand out and to be specific, you have to know all the details. And Chevening website is very, very, very valuable website. It includes a lot of information, and most of the things is clear there. And if you notice something, if you are following Chevening website, Chevening related page on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, you will find that once in a while they post some tips how you're gonna ace the interview. So they are also trying to help you and give you some tricks to do your best during the interview. The other thing, timing yourself. What I mean by timing yourself, when you answer question, don't take so long. Like, for example, for one question, 5 minutes, I will get bored actually. If I ask you a question and you answer the question in 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes, it's too long. Okay, for career plan, if they ask you the whole career plan, which we'll talk about it later in detail, maybe it takes more. But for the questions, that's generic question, don't take so long because they will get bored and they will get lost. And don't be very short. خير الأمور أوسطها, this is what usually say. So try to tell your story, to answer the question within 2 to 3 minutes. This is in my opinion, and this is how I tried to practice when I was a shortlisted applicant, just like yourself. Then don't be shy to ask question. I usually ask question. It is not a shame if I don't know something. It's not a shame if I ask someone who knows better than me. It's not a shame if I get more than one opinion. I will get more than one opinion, so I will have an inspiring and outstanding answer, right? So always try to ask us, ask other Cheveners from other countries, ask your colleague that you have in the group, ask people from everywhere, because it's like a global networking, which is really amazing. And I'm sure by now you already got benefit from the idea of Chevening. You as a person, your mentality may be changed by now. The way you think about leadership, the way you think about the importance of networking, right? So try to ask questions and get to know every single details. Then please practice. For me, practice is the key. I only had 10 to 12 days to prepare for my interview. And in my entire life, it was my second interview. The first interview, I had it for a job interview and I got the job. The second interview was Chevening interview, something I was never thought about it can be possible. But alhamdulillah, I got shortlisted. I did more than my best during that 10 days to ace the interview. And when I came out, when I did the interview, I had the feeling that I did great. I had no regret. I wish I had done something different because I did more than my best. So please, the time that you have now dedicated for preparation for the interview, do your best. If you got it, this is meant for you. If you didn't get it this year, you can apply for next year, because keep in mind, in the back of your mind, the chance of getting acceptance is 2%, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. You still can do it. As I did it, Salah did it, and a lot of other people. And then be flexible. The flexibility here, I meant related to the questions. I already shared with you a question bank that we got when I was shortlisted applicant from other Cheveners, thankfully. But sometimes things can go to the south. Maybe I got something I never thought about it, something different, for example. During my interview, I mentioned one of the examples, and they asked me a follow-up question, how you convinced these people to give you the fund. I never thought that they might ask me this question. So the thing is here, it is not about okay, I struggled a lot to make them convinced. Actually, shift الويل to make them convinced. No, sometimes maybe you just did it and they trust the process, they trust you, and they give you the fund because they know you as a person. You have passion about this work. You already did things before. So it is not about getting stuck in negativity and try to show them I struggle a lot, then I stand out. No, sometimes there is no struggle. So just be honest, just be yourself. And then stick to the deadline, please. Now you already uploaded your document, but don't forget you have IELTS or PTE, TOEFL, whatever English language test you want to do. You have to transfer your conditional offer to unconditional offer before July, and you have a deadline in July. I'm not sure of the date, maybe 12th of July. So please keep in mind those details and deadlines. Next slide, please.
Thank you so much. Just before jumping to the next slide, excuse me, Hannah, I would like to tell you that if you haven't been able to upload the educational documents, your reference letters and your passport into the application portal, or if you have uploaded them and you haven't been able to see them complete, make sure to take copies with you to the interview and hand them over to the panelists. They will be able to upload them or attach them to your applications on your behalf. Thank you very much. Here is the next slide. Yes, Hanan.
Thank you. So please be authentic, be genuine, just be yourself. Just be who you are. Don't act, don't do anything else to make them impressed. Be yourself, be genuine during the interview. If you like jokes, enter the interview room with a joke. If you like a quote, begin the interview with a quote. Why not? You, in this way, you give an impression. You will leave an impression, right, at the back of their mind. Okay, that person, you remember the guy who came and he did the joke, whatever. So just be yourself. Then be confident, please. You have to show them confidence. At the beginning, I remember, because it was the second interview in my life, my hand was like this. It was shaking. I didn't want them to see my hand is shaking. So there is a table, there is a water. At the beginning, the first 20 to 30 seconds, I put my hand down, so nobody was seeing my hand. But actually, deep down, I was scared. But within the first question, I went into the mood of the interview, and I had a lot of things to tell them. I have a lot, like, I needed to polish my essays, my examples more. I wanted to tell them more things, because the essay, I only had 500 words to tell them 2 examples. So I had more energy, I had more words to impress them and to tell them my story. Then be clear, concise, precise. Don't get confused. Just know the way and where you are going with the examples and the things that you're trying to explain for them. Then akid, appearances matters. For the guys, wear a nice suit. Even the ladies, wear a nice makeup, the best perfume that you have. Why not? It is the interview date. Actually, for me, it was like I have a big event tomorrow. So for me, the elegancy and the look is really matters. And for them, by the way,
You were
right?
lucky, Hanan, because mine was online.
Yes.
Yes.
I went, they could see me. Then don't forget your goal is Chevening goal. Link the goal with the UK plans, and the goals should be achievable, not dreams, no mysteries, everything we can achieve it on the ground. When you answer the question, use STAR approach. The idea of using STAR approach, which is situation, task, action, result, is more easier for the listener to receive the information without making them confused. And then at the end, before leaving the interview, you are done, everything is going well, inshallah, and everything is perfect. Try to leave an impression. Try to ask them something you have concern about the UK, the weather, the food, the transportation, what else? Music life, the busy life in
London.
London. London life, yes, I like London. London life.
Yes.
Don't get worried about London. London is amazing. So just leave a positive impression. Uh, about yourself that will stuck at the back of their mind. They will remember you. This is all I have. I don't know if I covered everything. Abdullah and Salah will continue with you, and at the end, you will have the chance to ask us some questions, and more than happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hanan. You have done amazingly well, and you have covered almost all the aspects of these slides. I would like to give the floor to Abdullah to see if he wishes to add something before we jump to the next slide.
I think Hanan didn't left anything for us, so well done, Hanan.
Sorry. No, I'm sure you have a bunch of information, Abdullah. You are one of the amazing alumni and Chevening scholar.
Thank you, Hanan. So next slide.
All right. So,
Okay.
next slide. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Salah, and thank you, Hanan, for mentioning all this information. I would also like to congratulate you again, although I've done lots of congratulations and
sorry to interrupt.
I was
I'm not sure I can hear you very well. So, dear participants, can you hear Abdullah very well? Could you please confirm that?
Can you hear me well now?
Yes, the voice is not clear, Abdullah. I think you need to remove the AirPod or something.
Is it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Should I go? Okay, perfect. So Hanan gave you the introduction and told you about what you should do before the interview. Now we'll dive in. Excuse me. Okay. So now we will talk about the interview date and what will you do during the interview and how you should control the interview, how you should direct the panel to ask you the question that you want to be asked if you can do that. So before going to these details, please make sure that you take your time to answer your questions because they will give you 1 minute before each question to answer. Feel free to drink water. Feel free to ask them questions if you couldn't understand what they are asking for, or if you want some clarification, or if they give you a very broad question that you want to narrow down, so you can tell them or ask them again. Can you clarify it more or rephrase it so you can understand the question more? Because if you can't understand their question, you won't be able to answer perfectly. So please make sure that you understand fully what they are asking for. So I would like to ask to also talk about the structure of your answer. And we can begin with the first question that you might be asked, like tell us about yourself. Although there are some Cheveners from last year and the year before, they weren't asked this question. So please don't be nervous if if the panel just directly started with your leadership essay or to other questions about yourself, but not tell us about yourself. Because I know some shortlisted applicants, they got confused and nervous and they were stressed because the panel didn't ask them, tell us about yourself. So this
Sorry for the interruption, Abdullah. I'm one of them. They just went with a very, very weird question.
yes.
I get so nervous.
Yeah, so because people and when shortlist applicants they try to prepare for their interview, they prepare with the first question, tell us about yourself, and then they go there. There's no this question, so everything and the whole mind map just collapse. So please make sure to be ready if this question is not there. Let's talk about this question. Tell us about yourself. It shouldn't be too long and it shouldn't be too short. Here, we expect the time to be 1 to 2 minutes. I think it's the best timing for this question. You can talk about your name, your profession, what you're currently doing, your qualifications, any milestones or any important achievement that you've done in the relevant field that you are in. So if you are an engineer or if you're a doctor or something and you have achieved something that's positively impacting your community, try to talk about it in a very brief way and to set the hook. So they will ask you again after you finish your introduction, tell us more about what you've just said about your achievement. Also try to mention at the very end of your introduction, what are you planning for life? Like why you are doing what you've done, why you are talking about these achievements, because this will let them know what you are looking for. So you want to establish a research center, or you want to be a president, or do you want to change policies in something? So just let them know what your ambitions are and how are you like planning to get there. It will be in the questions in your career plan. So just give them a brief, like one sentence or two about what you want to do in your life, and this will tell a lot, will tell a lot about yourself and what are you planning to do. So coming to the other part of my intervention here about the timing of your answer. This is a very general question, but then when they will ask you about your leadership, when they tell us about unpopular decision that you've made or anything like that, the structure and the length of your answer will depend on several factors. The first one and the most important one is the body language. So when you are talking and saying all your answer and your examples that you are answering their question, make sure to look into the panel and try to read their body language. And don't be surprised if they are not looking at you, if they will give you this just typing on their laptops thing, and then you might be stressed because some people didn't get any eye contact. So you try to make eye contact with one, and you prepare yourself with that, but then the panel won't do that. And it's part of the challenge. They challenge you to see what you will do in an unpopular decision or unpopular situation. So don't be stressed if they are not making eye contact, but you will know when they are bored or they are lost attention. So I will always suggest when they ask you a question, try to answer their question in the first two sentences or the first 15 seconds, and then go about to details, because sometimes I see applicants, they are setting the scene or talking about the context of their example for like 1 minute, and then they give the answer after 1 or 2 minutes, and people already lost attention or they won't be interested in your point. So please, when they ask you a question, try to give the answer in the first 15 seconds or 20 seconds, and then try to set the scene and talk about context and all the details. And also, the details, it should be very specific about what they're asking for. So if you are describing a situation, talking about one of your examples, you cannot say that, yeah, I'm walking in that street and there's a dog passed by, and this is just an example, a metaphor. But because I see many people when they answer the questions in mock interviews, they tell me, yeah, that manager was walking in that place and I intervened and then I stopped him or her. And so these details will make them lose attention. So please make sure that what you are saying is exactly what you want to convey, and it's all towards your showing your skills, leadership skills or networking or whatever. And this will be achieved by practicing, just like Hanan said. The more you practice, the more you make your answer concise and very specific about what you want to say. This will guarantee that they will understand what you're saying. And also, you can mention a very concise answer, and then tell them, I can elaborate and I can tell you more if you are interested or if you want to know more about this example. But I told you just the very beginning and the most important part of it. Salah, do you want to do the next slide and I do the next, or it's up to you?
Thank you so much, Abdullah. You did brilliantly. Thank you so much again. It's expected of you to do things perfectly. You're the Glaswegian member of Chevening.
Thank you.
All right. So after this slide, we are heading to this question, why Chevening? So expect that the panelists, one of them is going to ask you this question, why Chevening? As you may know, there is Chevening Scholarship, but there are plenty of scholarships around the world. So what makes Chevening exquisite? What makes Chevening special? That is the meaning, that is the essence of this question. When they ask you why Chevening, try not to stick in the middle, try not to be confused, take a breath, or perhaps you should already have practiced this question at home. So what makes Chevening important than the other scholarships, or what makes it stands out as a scholarship, is that Chevening is not only supporting you financially. Chevening doesn't only support the scholars financially. Chevening doesn't only give money. Chevening is way more than that. So before you are a Chevening scholarship, you are an applicant, which you are now. While you are an applicant, you are going to meet with Chevening alumni. Maybe you are going to meet online with Chevening current scholars in the UK. So you are in the process, or in the middle of the process, of enlarging your network. So networking is a core and a key concept, or a key element of the Chevening scholarship. So when you are asked this question, try to tell them that Chevening is not merely a scholarship that provides you with a stipend to facilitate studying, to facilitate your studies in the UK. Chevening is way beyond that. Chevening supports you financially. Chevening supports you in terms of connecting you with universities, with academics, with like-minded people. Chevening helps you attend the orientations, the meetings. So always try to make Chevening stands out amongst the other scholarships while you are being asked this question. I recall that in 2020, on the 27th of April, when I did my interview, I was asked this question. So I have been able to give them, I'm just sharing my experience, so hopefully it helps. I have been able to give them an answer that clarified why Chevening was important for me. And it's also important for you as well. So make sure to state some background on your career objective, how Chevening helps you with your career objectives. Make sure to include the issues that you aim to tackle, and how Chevening helps you with this, while connecting you with the right people in the UK, with the right people outside of the UK. Also, focus or shed some light on how Chevening and the UK are going to support you during your journey in the UK, how Chevening helps you achieve your plan, and how you will interact with the Chevening network, how you will be able to connect with Chevening network at first. So make sure to give them an answer that shows Chevening stands out, not only a financial help, financial aid, or financial scholarship, but also more than that, because Chevening is more than that. And when you are going to be selected, you will see for yourselves that Chevening is way beyond helping you financially to complete your studies in the UK, attending the courses or universities that you have long liked and dreamt for. So that is regarding why Chevening. If Abdullah or Hanan have any more information to add to this question, please, the floor is yours.
You've said everything. It's perfect.
Yeah, you already mentioned. Perfect.
Thank you so much. So yes. I would kindly ask, I would like to remind you, everyone, please make sure to mute yourselves, and then you will be given the floor to ask your questions. Now let's move to the 4 most important questions during the interview. And these questions and their follow-up questions are related to what you are going to do in the UK. Or related to the essays that you have written in your applications while you have applied for the Chevening scholarships. So there are 4 questions for the thematic areas as per your essays. You will receive one or more than one, maybe one, maybe more than one question regarding your leadership examples, your leadership essay, and a similar number of questions for your networking, for your studying in the UK, and for the career plans essays. So I'm going to tackle the first one, that is regarding the leadership. As you have known, and as the majority of you have drafted their essays and uploaded them for their Chevening applications, when you mention an example for your leadership or your networking essay, you should have mentioned that example in a way that follows the STAR methodology, that is situation, task, action, and result or outcome. So why is this important? Because it shows how you really tackled a situation that has emerged, and it really reflects your leadership qualities and what outcome, what action have you taken to resolve that issue or that problem, and what benefits have your country, have your community, has your country or your community benefited from you tackling those issues while during your studies before going to the UK. So, first of all, you mention an example. Perhaps you can talk about the similar example that you have mentioned in your essay. Perhaps you can talk about a more recent example that has occurred after you have submitted your application. In that case, what I would like to advise you is, if you want to choose an example to talk about for your leadership, make sure that this example is the most effective one and the most relevant and the most recent one. Most effective means has the best outcomes, has tackled or addressed a real issue, and you have provided solid outcomes. Most recent examples are really preferred than outdated or old examples. Even these old examples were really relevant. So think of relevance first. Think of modernity of these examples for your leadership examples. And also, while explaining your examples, please expect one or two follow-up questions. These questions are normally are phrased as how or why or what. You will be receiving one or two follow-up questions for each of these four questions regarding your essays. So make sure to prepare very well for answering your questions, stating an example, perhaps defining what leadership is in your perspective, because everyone has its own definition for leadership during the following the perspectives. And also, after mentioning your example, you will expect one or two how questions as follow-up questions that you need to tackle successfully. You need to prepare before going to the interview. Perhaps you can ask us tonight after we have concluded this session. Perhaps you can ask us on our Telegram account that is dedicated for you. That's all regarding the leadership. Who wishes to go for the networking? Hanan and Abdullah. Which one of you wishes to go with that?
I can go for networking.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. If that's okay for you, Hanan. Okay. So thank you, Salah, for this brief and very informative information about leadership and essays. I'll talk about networking, and because there are lots of questions that will be asked about what will you do in the UK, how will you use your Chevening network in the UK, and after you come back. And there are a few points that applicants normally don't really know after before the interview. So that's why I want to highlight these points. But also before that, I would also like to comment about what Salah said about the examples that you choose to say during your interview. From my point of view, from my experience, I see two ways to go into the interview and answer these questions. Either you stick to your essays and talk about the examples and the most effective examples that you already mentioned during your essays, and this will lead up to a follow-up questions around these examples, and it's the normal way, let's say, or the normal route to tackle this interview. And the other way is to bring out new examples, and then you will expect more out of the box questions from the panel. So and also you can drive the interview. You can control the interview and the questions. So you can talk about some examples and talk about a few points, and then you already know what will be the questions for you. So, for example, what I've done in my interview, I chose the other way. I chose to bring in new examples because after I've applied for Chevening, I was a TEDx speaker in Baghdad, and I wanted to say that for them because it was about my prosthetic project. That's one of the main achievements that I talked about in during my essays. So I didn't know how to tell them that because I can't just say, yeah, I was a TEDx speaker. I went there, and one of the questions was like, what would you advise yourself if in like 3 years ago, if you meet yourself in 3 years ago, what would you advise yourself? So I told them like I will advise myself to at least achieve 2 milestones every year. And the follow-up question was, what were your 2 achievements in this year? So I told them about my TEDx and I told them about my other achievement. So in this way, I told them something that I already know what they will be asking me. So if you have time, if you have enough time to prepare, you can achieve this point by answering questions, and you already know what you'll be asked about, like as a follow-up. Of course, it won't be 100% prediction, but you will have it's more likely to be asked in this question. So this is one of the ways that you can tackle these like questions during the your essays. And in terms of like questions that will be asking about your networking, like what would you do with a Chevening network in the UK? Just like Salah said, it's not like about just academic excellence and doing exams and projects and professional events. Chevening is also about networking, socializing. For myself, and I think for most of my friends from Chevening, the most valuable thing that we've got from Chevening is the community and the cultural exchange. I changed lots of my thoughts. I changed whole mindsets of myself after meeting people from 160 countries around the world, from leaders from different sectors. We always exchange discussions. It's very insightful. So this is one of the things that you can talk about, how you will engage with others, not only in professional events, but also in socializing and volunteering and getting to know the cultural aspects in the UK. And also UK people, British people always like to be talking about their history, culture, and like life in the UK. So you can use that a lot. And also one of the questions about what you will do after coming back to your country. So you can talk about how you will engage with Chevening community, how you try to organize events, just like what we are doing now to pay back to the Chevening community. We also have the alumni association, so you can say that I will be part of that. I will try to engage in events, in projects, in panel discussions, wherever events or activities that they are doing. And also there's a whole program for funding program for Chevening alumni. So when you come back, you can apply for a funding every year to do a small project as an Chevening alumni. So you can also mention that, you can read that in their website about what you can do. So part of your answer would be like this, applying to this fund and engaging with Chevening alumni in Iraq. So this is just some ideas to shape your networking questions and answers about your essay. I think that's all that I can talk about networking. I want to
Yes.
leave something for Salah and Hanan.
Thank you so much, Abdullah. I just want to add something that consider it this way: while your essays for the Chevening application must be composed of no more than 500 words, the interview is your chance to state things, to explain things that in a way that you haven't been able to explain. You can give more details for your essays that you haven't been able. Oh, sorry, the electricity went off. That you haven't been able to provide within the 500 word limit of your essays. So always make sure that you give more details while answering these questions. For example, if you were asked to clarify one of the questions or one of the examples in your leadership or your networking essays during the questions that during the interview, try to give more details that you haven't been able to include. Why? Because the interview is your opportunity to excel, to express yourselves. Just like Dr. Hanan said, it's your opportunity to give them more introduction about yourselves than you have provided already in your essays. So consider it this way. This is your opportunity to give more details. But these details should be relevant, should be authentic, and should be from what you have really done. So there is a difference between someone who's talkative and someone who's informative. Talkative is someone who just speaks without mentioning any relevant information regarding their essays or examples, while informative person is a person who really has more details that he or she hasn't been able to include in their essays, and now this is their chance during the interview to include these details while they haven't been able to do so during their essays. I would like to move to the study in the UK questions. And this is one of the most delicate essay on your Chevening Scholarship. Study in the UK is your chance to explain, to justify why you have selected these 3 courses in these 3 specific UK universities, while there are plenty of similar courses at other UK universities. What makes these 3 courses that you have selected stand out? So, for example, as you know, England or the United Kingdom is the mother of English language. It's the birthplace of the English language. And 99, maybe 100% of the UK universities have courses on linguistics or English language and linguistics. So for me, why, as someone who specializes in linguistics, why did I choose Queen Mary University of London, Lancaster, and UCL, and not chose other UK universities? So this is when I have to show why I have done so. This is when I have to justify my selections. While justifying my selection means that I have to provide them with details stating the importance of these courses, not only to my study objectives while I am in the UK, but their relevance to my future career plans. Of course, these courses are similar in every single UK universities, but their content, the content of these courses are not similar. So if you, for example, if you want to do dentistry, if you want to do AI, or if you want to do linguistics in the UK, if you search in the modules and the classes that you will be studying and these courses, you will find that each and every course teaches different modules, teaches different materials. So when selecting your courses in the UK, you should already have done a thorough research stating the importance of these goals, not only to your study objectives, but to your future career plans. Believe me, the place of the university doesn't matter, whether it is in London, whether it is outside London, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. You shouldn't think of it at all. The ranking of the university shouldn't matter. Do not think of Oxford because it's Oxford. Do not think of Cambridge because it is Cambridge. Think of the universities and these courses in a way that how the courses in these universities are able to help you stand out, are able to help you apply your plans when return home. And there is another delicate and, let's say, I would say tricky questions, a tricky question during the interview when you reach this far for studying in the question. Perhaps one of the panelists is going to ask you, would you like to change one of your courses? Some applicants, I'm going to speak it as plain as I can, so that I can help you, I can help deliver the idea to everyone clearly. as clearly as possible. This is a tricky question. Why? Because when you have selected these 3 courses, when you have applied to these 3 universities, when you have included these 3 courses in your essays, you should have done so following a deep, thorough research. You should already have reached the step that you exactly knew why you have done, why you have selected these 3 universities, and the justifications, the reasons beyond your selection for these 3 courses. Changing these courses changing these 3 courses only because you don't like that university doesn't reflect a good gesture about yourself. And I would highly advise you not to change any course only because you don't like this university, and after you have submitted your application you found a better university. No, don't do that. If you want to change your course, you should have a real solid, strong justification. For example, one of the 3 universities you applied for has canceled the course. This is not in your hand. This is out of your hand because one of the 3 universities has canceled the course. And you should have applied for another university. When you are asked this question, would you like to change university? You will say, yes, I would like to do so because one of the 3 universities for my selections has canceled the course, and I have selected another universities which I applied for, and I selected this X university because and not other universities because the course in this universities aligns totally or completely with the course that has been canceled by that university. This is one justification. Another justification is that the university hasn't canceled the application for that courses, but has changed the content or the modules of these courses. In this case, you will have another solid, justification, strong justification to change the course because you are looking for courses that whose content aligns with your study objectives in the UK and post-study career plans while you return to your country. These were just 2 examples of justifications. Perhaps you have other examples you would like to provide if you want to change your universities. Otherwise, I would advise against changing your universities. So make sure when speaking of your universities, make sure their positive impact on your study objectives and career plans, and show them how thoroughly you researched and that you have reached a decision where you have been able to make this selection for these 3 universities. Thank you very much. Abdullah,
Thank you, Salah.
which one goes for the last one?
Abdullah, you want to explain or shall I explain?
I just have a comment and then you can go for the say. My comment is about what Chevening are expecting from you during the interview. This is one of the most important things to understand. They want to know that you, with the achievements that you have already expressed in your essays, that you can replicate that with more funding and more information and more network in the UK. So once you understand that, you can focus your answers about how to show them that you are able to replicate these achievements with a bigger scope, with a more larger impact on your community if you get this scholarship and if you made contact with the leading universities and with the leaders from around the world. So once you understand that, you can shape your answers based on that to show them that it's not like about, yeah, I won these prizes and I've achieved this position and I've done that and this. They don't want to see this type of information. They want to know if you get this like a scholarship with all its benefits, you are able to replicate these achievements and this like impact on your society on a wider scale after you've been in contact with leaders, with institutions in the UK, and also with the funding with your masters. So please make sure that your answers are representing this and conveying this message that I can do that. I'm able to do that in a wider scale if I get this. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdullah.
Well done.
Okay, going to the career plan essay, in my opinion, it is the most important essay All the essays are important, but the essay that shows your vision and mission clearly and having a solid foundation about what you want to do, if you got a scholarship, like why you want this scholarship to do so. So you have to know why you want to do this plan in 5 years, in 10 years, and 15 years after coming back from Iraq, why you want to do this and how you're going to do this. In my opinion, this is just my experience. It is really important to identify the gaps that we have in Iraq in your major. For example, I am a dentist. So I have to identify the gaps that we are facing in Iraq in dentistry. I have to know the data. Do we have data in Iraq? Do we have any survey? Do we have any research? Do we have any evidence-based information? What is the gap we are facing? Then this is the problem that we have in Iraq. Then I will go and search in dentistry, in the health, in different majors in engineering, in robotic, in linguistic, medicine, what the UK is doing in the UK itself. UK is pioneer in healthcare system. I want to know what the strategy they are following to be unique in their way. And then through my career plan, I am planning to implement their strategy, to implement it in Iraq in short-term, mid-term, and long-term plan. So you have to know the gaps, the problem that we have in Iraq in your sector. You have to have a clear picture of the information. What the gap that we have, different specialties, different gap. Me, as a dentist, I know that we have a very huge gap in the health system, dental, oral health promotion, the research, we have nothing. We don't have any base. The other problem, the UK in Iraq, they don't have any strategic plan for dentistry as a dentistry. They are neglecting dentistry. This is a very huge issue, right? So you have to know in your major what is the problem that we are facing, what the gap that we have, and then you have to search about data from WHO, from different websites, get data, get statistic about the, sometimes it would say 70% of Iraqi population are suffering from, for example, lack of vaccination, which is problem. So our doctors, as a doctor, they want to go to the UK, do their master and coming back to Iraq to decrease this number, right? I couldn't find information about the oral health. Just imagine, I searched a lot, I couldn't find a very detailed and well information about dental health, oral health promotion, and evidence-based research in Iraq, which is a huge problem, right? So I want to go to the UK, I want to study XYZ modules or university or courses, so I can gain XYZ knowledge. When I come back to Iraq, I will start to work on this area. This is the first thing. The second thing, check UK government website. In the UK government website, you will find their strategic plan in different countries. Choose Iraq and look at their strategic plan. They have different plans. They have different funding projects in different sectors. You have, by now, you already should have linked your plan to the UK strategic plan, because the British Embassy and the British Consulate, they are funding you, the UK government, the FCDO, funding you to go to the UK, and they have activities in Iraq. Can you please mute yourself? So they have activities in Iraq. You have to work with them, doing partnership, collaboration to achieve this strategic plan. You check the SDG goals, maybe. Maybe you want to contribute to achieve the SDG goals. Who knows, right? So they will ask you during the interview. The website is UK government. Just write down UK government, you will find the website. Then they will ask you during the interview when you're gonna see yourself in the next 5 years, which means your midterm plan, right? In your essay, you have already mentioned short-term, midterm, and long-term plan. And in my opinion, the short-term is a way that will take you to the midterm and short-term together. They will take you to the long-term plan. So you have to mention in details after 5 years what you want to do. Give them a short introduction about your short-term plan, because through this short-term plan you can go and achieve your midterm plan, whatever plan that you have. I just don't want to give a lot of example because I'm sure you will use this during the interview. Please, guys, the example, the information that we are using here, don't copy and paste the idea. It is just for giving you the idea. If you all go and tell them the same thing during the interviews, then there is a problem, right? Just you also think out of the box. The thing we are telling you here just to give you a hint. يعني هذا click to go and to find more information, to think about more new things that makes you unique, that make you unique over me, right? So what's your plan in the midterm? Tell them a short introduction about your short-term plan, because in 5 years means midterm plan. So tell them in the upon coming back to Iraq, I will do blah, 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 blah. So in 5 years, by having the knowledge and experience that I got from the UK and during my work in short-term plan, in 5 years, I am planning to achieve or to establish whatever you want to do, whatever your plan is, and give them the detail, give them data like how you are expecting decreasing the number of the thing. For example, my plan is to do XYZ in dentistry, doing research project or a promotion program. So in 5 years, I am expecting to decrease the caries rate from 70% to 40% through my plan. And this plan is aligned with the UK strategic plan, and tell them some certain plans if they have plan in your field. Sometimes they don't have plan. In dentistry, back in time in 2022, I couldn't find any plan they are working actually, to be honest. So I told them during the interview, I was honest. I didn't make any story. I said, I searched a lot in the UK website. I looked into their strategic plan in Iraq. I couldn't find anything related to dentistry, and this made me sad. We as we as healthcare professional, as a UK government, Iraqi government, nobody taking care about oral health, which is really important, and it's the door for the general health of humans. So I will bring my proposal to the table upon coming back from the UK. I will do this, I will do that, and so on. Then the plan it should be realistic, which is already, and you have to expect relevant question. For example, if you would say, from 15 years from now, I will found a company. So establishing a company, it needs a lot of networking. It needs a lot of money, right? So you have to expect from where you will get the money by then. Maybe they ask how you will financially establish. So you have to know from after 15 years how you will collect that money. It should be from your short-term, mid-term plan, and so on. So you have to have justification for everything. I remember in my essay, I mentioned in long-term plan, I want to establish something. I don't want to mention the name. So in that, for establishing that, I will put 10% of my money into that thing. Then, because maybe I was so excited when I was writing down my essay. So I said, after I got shortlisted, how come you will pay from your pocket 10% of your money to something? You should get money from somewhere else. They might ask you, Hanan, like, will you be ready to pay 10% from your saving to such program or such thing? So I was trying to find, if they ask me about this 10%, or I would say maybe this 10%, 3% from my clinic, then other 5% from people that are well established financially, and so on. And then I will get the fund from XYZ fund project program. I will apply a proposal to get the fund, and so on. So you have to know, you must know how you will achieve these plans in detail. And if you failed to achieve, what is your plan B? So they might say, okay, if you couldn't establish this in 5 years, what's your plan B? You can't jump to 15 years, which is long-term plan. So what's your plan B? Always keep in mind, what's my plan B? If things go south, how I will come back onto the right track, how I will keep going on the way. I know, to be honest, to be realistic, maybe we are not able to achieve the plan that we already mentioned in our essay because it's plans, life changes, opportunities changes. You never know what life's gonna take you to. But the one that you have, this is the plan that I have. This the person that I am in now. I'm thinking in this way. This is my plan. So you should know the gaps, the UK strategic plan, the SDG goals, and then your plan that you mentioned in detail. It should be a real achievable plan, financial wise, strategic wise, technical wise, and so on. I think this is all the information that I have related to the career plan. I don't know if I missed anything, but yeah, tell me, guys, Abdullah and Salah, if I missed anything.
You haven't. You have completely covered every aspect of this question. Yeah.
Great, then.
Yeah.
We can go to the next slide, so we can go to the question section.
Yes, before going
I also shared.
sorry, go ahead, Abdullah. Go ahead.
No, I just sent two websites to see the project that the UK is doing in Iraq. So you can track the development of these projects and you know where the funds are. So you can track and shape your answer based on that.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Abdullah has just, thank you, Abdullah. That's amazing. Abdullah has just put two important links in the chat box. Make sure to copy these links and paste them somewhere in your PCs or mobile phones so that you can come back to them later. We will also provide you with these links to the Telegram group following the completion of this session. Before jumping to the next slide, I would like to add a couple of things linguistically from completely linguistic perspective speaking. While mentioning your examples or your long-term, short-term plans, when talking about your career plans, always use these following verbs. Say, I am going to. Don't say I hope. Don't say I dream. Don't say I wish. Say I plan, say I intend, say I am going to instead of I will, because you know these are plans, these are not just hopes, these are not just dreams or wishes. You are into some real work. So you should reflect that in your language. You should speak so confidently. You should state plans. You should reflect confidence while speaking. So it is very important to mention verbs that help you deliver the message that you want to deliver. So don't talk about hopes. Don't talk about wishes. Don't talk about dreams. Talk about plans and applicable plans. Talk about yes, just like I said, use I plan, use I intend as verbs, use I am going to, because this grammatical structure help you deliver a hidden message that you are up into some real work. Thank you very much, everyone. Now let's jump into the next slide. Expect that you are going to receive some questions that are outside of your 4 essays, and you will be receiving 1 or 2, maybe 3 questions outside of your essays. So these are 3 bullet points. Dr. Hanan and Mr. Abdullah are going to help me tackle these questions, but I would very much like to begin with the first one, if Abdullah and Hanan don't mind. So
yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Thank you. So you will be asked this question: what else will you do in the UK apart from studying? So when Chevening sends you to the UK, Chevening doesn't expect you to spend 100% of your time studying. This is something that I personally was told in 2020 by the UK General Consul in Erbil. Then he told me, Salah, you are going to the UK, just don't spend your time studying fully. Go outside. You are going to London. Enjoy London. Enjoy the weather. Make friends. Do whatever activities you want to do. So he gave me this advice. So this advice is part of what Chevening wants us and wants you to do. What else will you do in the UK apart from studying? Think of it this way. You are going to stay in the UK for 1 year. Maybe 1 year and a few months if you wish to stay after your studies for a couple months until your visa was over. think of what you plan to do during your studies, after your studies. Think of kind of activities that you would like to engage. No matter how simple these activities are, no matter how trivial you think they are, okay, it's okay to mention them. For example, you can mention that going to form a group of cyclists and we are going to discover the most important and the most historic places in London or in the UK in general, so that we can, for example, shed some lights on the civilization, history of these places, blah, 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 etc. And other most important thing is that voluntary work. Try to dedicate some of your time volunteering, helping the community, doing any and every single kind of volunteering work. You can coordinate the volunteering activities with your Chevening officer. You will be assigned to an officer while you are in the UK so that you can report to him, report to her, or you can ask him or her to help you find the voluntary groups while you are in the UK. And the more opportunities, the more hours you dedicate to volunteer while in the UK, the more of these hours will be recognized and you will be invited to the UK FCDO and you will be awarded with a certificate of volunteering. And those who volunteer more than 100 hours of their time while they are in the UK will be highly recognized while they are in the UK. So think of any kinds of voluntary work. Think of, for example, I'm not going to go deep into voluntary work. Maybe you can have your ideas. You can think of whatever you want to do. For example, collecting plastic from the shores to raise awareness to the importance of cleanliness and of maybe you can engage in a volunteer work of helping people understand more about climate change, blah, 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 etc., or the importance of planting trees and or helping older people. Look for opportunities. If there are no opportunities, for example, cultural exchange opportunities, try to create them. What does that mean? During 2020 and part of 2021, during COVID-19, we were in complete restriction. We were studying at home. We weren't able to go to the universities because it was lockdown. So that has given us some time to think what we as Cheveners can do to increase our cultural exchange opportunities while in the UK. So we have created a number of opportunities. For example, we were more than 300 Cheveners in the UK, in London, just in London. So on one day, we have created an event at Regent's Park, and Regent's Park was the place for our official celebrations, birthday celebrations, and all kinds of our events. We created something called Chevening Cultural Day. What is that? Simply, the idea was people from different cultures put on their traditional cultural clothes, cook their cultural traditional food, and we gathered on the same day at the same place on a specific day, and we did plenty of songs, we did plenty of traditional dances, and plenty of people came with their fantastic clothes, fantastic food. We spent a really fantastic day that time. So always think of creating opportunities if you have no time to go to opportunities or events or things that Chevening is providing. Make sure to visit places. As I said, do not spend your time 100% studying. Mention that you are going to visit some places and say why you visit these certain places. Some people prefer to visit historical places. Why? Because they like history. Some people prefer to visit places where older people are being treated so that they can provide some sort of help. Try to represent your country, try to represent your community in the best way, because when you are going to the UK, you are not going as individuals. They will not see you as individuals. The community there, your colleagues, your Chevener colleagues, your outside of Chevening colleagues, the people in the UK will see you as Kurdistan, will see you as Iraq. They will not just see you as X or Y Chevening scholar. So represent your country in the best way, and I am 100% sure that you will be the best people to represent Kurdistan and Iraq in the best way that is possible. Thank you very much. And if Hanan or Abdullah would like to add something to.
Salah, I got nostalgia now.
Oh,
I
yes.
just remembered
Me too. Yes, me
everything
too.
related to London. I just got nostalgic.
Yes. London is, oh my God. There is one fact about myself that I would like to mention is that while the whole period that I spent in London, that was more than 15 months, a year, nearly a year and 3 months, I have walked more than 3 million steps. And I have counted these steps using my health application on my cell phone. That is not counting the cycling days. So you can imagine how many times I have been going out and doing some walks and talking to people, talking to friends. Especially my field of specialization was sociolinguistics and dialectology, which means that I had to be in a close contact with people. So I do encourage you to go outside, walk, enjoy the weather. Maybe you can take your books outside and study in a park, or just don't stay inside your tiny little rooms, tiny little flats. That is all I can say to you. Thank you so much.
Abdullah,
Where's Abdullah?
will you explain the next 2 points? Or he's with
Yeah.
us? Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. I just would like to mention that I walked 3,600,000.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
How I can check mine? No, I walk alone in Scotland a lot. I did hiking, but I can't reach you, I think.
Yeah.
Unless Chevening, choose me again.
Abdullah,
Yeah,
have you
so
cycled in Scotland, in
of
Glasgow?
course, but I don't know if you have been to Glasgow, but Glasgow is very like tops and there's lots of
Yes.
hills and
Ups and
mountains. So
Yeah.
downs.
yeah, ups and downs. So
Yeah.
I did cycling. I couldn't finish like 5 minutes cycling in the first day.
Yes.
At the end of my journey of Chevening, after like 16 months, I could cycle for more than 2 hours without a single stop. So
But
yeah,
3,600,000 steps,
trend.
that's wow.
Yeah, my health trends like just got too
Yes.
big.
Yes. All
Yeah, this is
right.
one of the things that you can mention. It will improve your health. I've never used any buses in Glasgow. I always walk 30 minutes, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. But London, yeah, of course, you need to
Yes.
take bus.
That's really amazing.
Okay, so the question which will be about how will you contribute to what is the UK doing in your country? I just mentioned the two links that I've already sent in the chat box, so you can check what the UK is doing now, and then you can tailor your contributions, your career plan, and then came up with an answer about what you are doing and how is that intersecting with the UK projects. And that doesn't need to be completely in the same sector. If you're doing something in health and the UK is doing something in climate, you can say that I will do an intersection about climate health. If you are doing something in technology and the UK is doing something in health, you can do digital transformation in health sector. So try to be creative and try to think out of the box about how you will link your contributions and your career plan with what is the UK doing. It doesn't matter if it's the same field, the same sector or not. Just try to link it and to make an intersection. And to be honest, we all like written type of that in the career plan. We answered these questions in an interview, and I think for myself, I had some doubts that I will really implement this or I will really be able to do that. And here I am after 3 years of my achieving journey, and I'm already achieved like 50% of what I've said. Exactly the same. So although I have written that for the application, well, of course I wanted to do it, but I wasn't sure that I will really do it. So please be creative and pay attention to what you will say and you will write, because this is exactly what you will be doing if you are really accepted in Chevening, and you will do the things that we are talking about. So yeah, try to link it, and you can look into the project that the UK is doing. The final question would be, why should Chevening choose you? So this question is just concludes everything that we've talked about. So Chevening, as we said, looking for leaders, and you should highlight your positive impact that you create during your time in the UK and after you come back to your country. So the the impact, it shouldn't be just in Iraq and should be just from yourself to your community. It should be also to the community in the UK, because this is what they're looking for, cultural exchange. So for example, I can give you one of the examples that I'm working on. The UK is doing some robots for people with disabilities, rehabilitation robots and prosthetics for people with amputations. So they're trying to do that, but they don't have the data. They haven't suffered from ISIS war like we've done here. Their educational institutions haven't been in 3 years blockage, complete blockage, like what happened in Mosul. So they know, they have studied a lot, but they don't have real data, and they don't know how people manage to be able to make what they're doing in such situations. So I'm sharing some of my experiences with developing low-cost robots for people with amputations in Iraq, and I'm sharing my experience of in education in public universities in Iraq that suffered from 3 years of complete blockage, and there's no education at all. And I'm sharing that with people there so they can do their research or learn and implement in solutions that we already have done here in Iraq. So because we are in Iraq and because we have lots of challenges, this is all can be transformed into opportunities about how you can positively impact their community, not your community only. So also, this is one of the points that you can mention, and this is what part of why should Chevening choose you, because you will benefit your community and exchange information and solutions with the community there, and achieve a global positive impact. I think that's all what I can say about this.
Excellent, Abdullah. Well, these are some useful resources that we will be sharing with you following the completion of this session. The first website is the Chevening, official Chevening website. It talks about interviews, tips from Chevening scholars. And also, I think this one is redundant. And there is another blog on WordPress. And finally, also the Chevening website for tips on completing a successful successful interview for the Chevening Scholarship. These are some useful resources. I will be copy these links, and I will be pasting them into our Telegram group later following the completion of this session. If Abdullah or Hanan have no more information to add, I would like to dedicate nearly 35 minutes until it is 11 p.m. to receive questions of the scholars. Do you have anything to add?
I just want to highlight something again. The thing that we have shared, guys, it is our own experience, please. It is not a rule you have to follow, you must follow. No, it's our own experience. And I saw the diversity between me, Abdullah, Salah, different experience. I really enjoyed the session. But please, this is not a rule. This is just some, just trying to help you by sharing our experience and things that we passed through. And we hope you got benefit from. And please don't copy paste the idea. Just take a hint, because most of you are from Iraq. I think we have 2 to 3 guests from Lebanon and Syria, and same panelists will interview you. So if you're gonna go and share and take the things that we just mentioned, copy and paste, they will know and it will affect your score. So be creative, think out of the box, and be intelligent. And thank you so much. We can go to the question. Please, the one that have question, start to raise your hands. We will take by the raised hands one by one.
Thank you very much. Before taking the first question, there's also an important thing that I would like to highlight is that if your university is the one that you have applied for already ask you for deposit fees, please do not pay any fees. Please do not pay any fees. Why? Because if you are finally awarded the Chevening Scholarship, you will be assigned to a Chevening officer. That Chevening officer from London is going to directly contact your chosen university. He or she will inform them that you have been awarded, and he or she will confirm your position as a Chevening awardee. He or she is going to pay the deposit fees for you. What you need to do now, if you receive such thing, please try to respond to that university that you have applied for the Chevening Scholarship and that you have applied for the Chevening Scholarship and that you have that you are going to attend the interview. Maybe you can save the email that you have received from Chevening as an interview invitation and attach it as a document as kind of proof to the admission office for that universities. But again, do not pay any deposit fees. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I will be taking questions accordingly following the risen hands. If you give me one moment. When you ask your questions, please introduce yourself briefly. Your name is enough, and then ask your question. The first question is going to be taken from Golan. Please, Golan, go ahead, unmute yourself, and then go ahead.
Okay, assalamu alaikum everyone. From Kurdistan region of Iraq. I just want to say that I'm really glad to be here, and I really thank you all guys, Mr. Abdullah, Mr. Salah, and dear Hanan, to give us your golden time and support and guide us. Well, I have more than 5 questions. If you have time, let me ask you all my questions. My first question is regarding to the changing the university.
Sorry, Golan, just to interrupt you. Let us allow you to ask one question, and maybe your other 4 questions will be questions that are going to be asked by other participants. If your other questions are asked, then you will receive your answers. If not, and if we have time, you will be given the floor to ask all your 4 questions. Is that fair?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
if not, you can ask in the group that we have on Telegram.
Okay, I will. So my only question is that I'm going to change one of my university. I have a very strong academic reason. They canceled my course, okay? So I decided to change my that university to another university. But my question is in here is that during the interview, I have to explain each of university why I chose them. Is that okay if I mention that university that they canceled my course? I have to mention it, then at the end I have to mention that I want to change the course or not?
Since I was the one who tackled the study in the UK essay, I would say yes. Mention the university that has been cancelled. Why? Because the course or the university that was cancelled was not
No, I mean mentioning why I chose that university.
Yes, of course. Yes, I understood your question. So go ahead, mention that university, but mention it briefly, just to give them an idea that you have searched that course thoroughly. But following mentioning that, tell them that following the submission of your application for the Chevening Scholarship, you have received an email or whatever notification from your university that they have canceled the course for whatever reasons the university has told you. And for that reason, you have to apply for another university that has the same.
I applied a lot of university and I have conditional offer from them.
Yes, if you allow me, I will explain. Yes, you can select only one university as an alternative, not more than one university. Select the one that has most relevant, similar modules or content to the one that has been cancelled.
I got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next question is from Hajar's iPhone.
Hi, hello everyone. I would like to thank you all, our hosts, for this amazing session. I have one question. It's regarding whether I applied for other scholarships or not. If the committee asked me about this question, what should I answer it? Thank you.
All right, Abdullah or Hanan, who wishes to go with that?
The question was if the panelists asked her if she gonna apply for other alternative scholarships. Actually,
yes.
this is tricky. Like you can't be honest. Like you
Exactly. I don't know
you
what.
can't be honest and look for more than one opportunity as a person. You will not stuck in Chevening Scholarship, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Abdullah? This is my opinion. Like, but the question is really tricky here. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, the answer would be like, I don't know if I'm not sure if I'm going to like being accepted for this award or not, and then yeah.
You can if the question is related to Chevening, what is your plan if you got rejected? So you can simply say, if I got rejected this year, I will work on myself, on my networking.
No, the question was,
and I will do more.
No, actually, yeah.
Sorry?
Actually, my question was regarding if they asked me about whether I applied or I'm intending to apply for another scholarships this year.
Yeah. So
Have you applied?
Yes, actually.
Fulbright?
And I'm waiting for it. Yes.
So this is a very tricky because yeah, for myself, I haven't applied to any other scholarships. When they asked me, I told them no because, to be honest, I know other scholarships and I know that their community is not as strong as Chevening, and one of the most reasons that I applied for Chevening is their community. So I'll apply more and more. But maybe after, and I told them like as a joke, after 5 years, if I didn't get Chevening, I might be considering other scholarships. So just all laughed and that's it.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have something I would like to add for this question. This is, yes, a tricky question, and it is a both-way question, but it is also, you can also change it to your favor. How? You can answer yes if you have applied for other scholarships. Tell them that you are pursuing your goals. While yes, Chevening is the most important one that you want to go with to follow up on your goals. You also seek other opportunities to stick to your goals, to apply your goals, and to improve your community or your country. So this is a tricky question, yes, but you can change it into your favor. I was asked this question when I did my interview, and I was honest, just like Hanan said in the beginning, be honest, be authentic. So if you have applied, say, yes, I have applied, but you have to mention two things. Highlight the importance of Chevening, and also say the reasons you have applied for other scholarships is that because you have goals you want to apply, and there is more than one chance that you would like to make use of or make benefit from to pursue these goals. And this is a way that you can change the trick of that question into your favor to show them that you are really a dedicated person to answer these questions. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Nada Muhammad.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Thank you so much for this rich session. I'm really benefiting from all the information. I just have some questions. I think I can ask one, right? Or more than one? I don't know. Okay. My one question is that you guys mentioned like generally the answers should be like 3 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. So if they ask me about like a specific leadership example, I have like more than 2 examples. And the tricky part is one is regarding a social initiative, which is like with the SDGs and stuff. The other one is strictly like data thing, but it's related to the course that I'm applying. So how can you advise me in choosing like one example that's gonna stick with them? If you have any tips, thank you.
For me, if I was you, I would choose the example that shows my skills, leadership skills in a very bright way and has the best impact. Because, and don't waste the time to mention two examples very briefly. I would suggest mentioning one example that has better positive impact in more detail, which is going to take you 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Ali.
Yes, thank you so much, Salah, Abdullah, and Hanan. For this wonderful lecture. Actually, your support means a lot, and I'm truly grateful for the chance to get to know you and other shortlisted Cheveners. So my question is about the studying in the UK. Actually, I choose the first and second options according to my research, and I had an unconditional offer from my first choice. So the last one, I actually didn't care about it. So I choose a bad, let's see, not a bad university, but not from the highest university, or not for any logic reason. So can I tell them that I choose this university or this specific choice because it's easy to get accepted, or not? Thank you.
Okay, nobody gonna answer. Shall I answer?
Sorry, I was not following completely. Maybe you or Abdullah would like to answer this question.
Yeah, go for it, Hanan.
Okay, so as far as get the question, your last choice, you just chose it randomly, and after you got shortlisted, you found that the rank is not the best, right?
Yes, yes.
So never mention that I chose this university because it's easy to get offer from. No, this is a red cross in my opinion. Because this will show them that you didn't do your research about the university and the module, the knowledge and the experience that you're gonna get from the university, and link it to your career plan. So don't care about the rank. Actually, I don't. When I was searching for the university, I never cared about the rank of the university. What I cared about is the course itself, the module, and at the end, me, how I'm gonna come out with the sets of knowledge, experience as a person, how I will get benefit from for my career plan. So the last choice that you think that it is not very high in a very high rank university, go through the module, go through the events, the activity, the summer course, the instructors, the professors, the event, everything that you have in that university, and mention during the interview just the same way you are mentioning your first and second choice. I chose this course because for real, within the module, I can still achieve my career plan and my goals. Don't mention I chose it randomly because it is a low rank and they will give me offers. Because when you are applying for the university, you should go through the requirement and eligibility criteria and see if you are qualified for the course and you're gonna get offer or not. You have the experience they are looking for. You have the knowledge that they are looking for. You got my point. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yes. But the problem that all my choices are the same course. So this
Same title,
specific
you mean?
university, the same module, the same course, all the
Okay.
choices.
What is
Yes.
the problem with that then?
Problem the third one is very low rank, and it's also I'm a doctor. I'm a resident doctor. So the last course, which is clinical dermatology, I discovered recently, that this course also for nurses and for other healthcare professionals, not only for doctors, not like college medical college kings, or the Cardiff universities, which are specified this course for doctors. So the third one, I won't choose it if I know that.
Look, the thing in the UK, and this is the beauty of the universities, people from different disciplines, they can choose the same course. يعني, sometimes I am a dentist, dental technician can do the same course with me, while I am dentist and he's dental technician, or he's or she is from other physician from physics. His bachelor has from physics, chemistry, and they can come and take dental material course. Me as a dentist, I am from medical field, right? We have people from different field. This will not make the course of a low value. This is the beauty of interdisciplinary aspect that the UK are following. They are not just like Iraq. Okay, you are medical doctor, you have to do this. No, they are looking for interdisciplinary, like robotic, they take robot, medicine, and they link it together, and so on. So having nurse with you in the class and having the same academic certificate like yourself, it won't make the course a bad course or a bad choice.
Yes.
Okay,
But this
if you want to
online
change, the university, in the website they give you the freedom to change even more than one courses, but give a nice justification. I don't think giving them the justification, there is nurses with me within the course and the rank is low, I decided to change.
No.
So this is not. You can mention like after I have applied for Chevening, I still looking for more courses. I was curious about the courses they are offering. And when I was looking, I found this university, they have XYZ module, this professor is tutoring, they have this event, this activity, this summer course, and still I can achieve the same plan that I mentioned. So I want to change this course to this one. And this is what I answered when I changed my courses.
Can I only choose to mention two choices, my first two choices only?
No, you have to. They might say, why you, okay, maybe they might be very specific. على حظك. They would say, why you chose that third choice? Yalla. You have to be ready.
Yes.
Right? So no, you have to be ready for everything. You want to change the third one? Give a very nice justification why you want to choose, and the the replacement of that one, the new course, tell them why this new course, and are you still able to choose the same career plan with the new course or not? You have to able to achieve the same plan at the end.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Hanan. Thank you so much.
Just I have a comment on like the questions, because it's like there are many questions about my essays, and so just a heads up that the questions in the interview might be not even relevant to your essays. So one of the questions was, what do you think the difference between the educational system in Iraq and educational system in the UK? Mention a specific point that you felt you felt as a leader. Sometimes, like you mentioned, a specific example about one of your networking that benefit others. So some of the questions might be not exactly as about your essays, and it's not like mentioning your 3 UK universities. They never asked me about any of my universities. They just asked me about the difference between the UK and Iraq in terms of educational systems, and what would you change if you were a professor and teaching at one of the Iraqi universities. So just put that in mind, and then you can structure your answer based on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Abdullah.
we can go to Ghenwa.
We can go to, I'm taking the people from left to right so that in the order they raised their hands. So the next one is Ghenwa Tamouni.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Ghenwa. I'm from Lebanon. Thank you very much, guys, for your effort. Ms. Hanan, Mr. Salah, and Mr. Abdullah. The session was fruitful. My question is, in case they ask me a question where I couldn't fit any example, for example, if they ask me a question, tell us about a time where you had a conflict with an authority or your boss, and I don't have any scenario, or I didn't encounter any situation like that, but I didn't mention anything in my like essays, leadership essay concerning any I don't know, like I couldn't get an answer to this question. What should I do in this case?
I would say that if you haven't encountered any similar situation, try to think of a hypothetical situation. For example, you haven't had any issue, you haven't had any problem with your supervisor, with your manager, with anything like that. But think of a hypothetical situation in case you had one or you will have someone in the future. How will you react? How will you tackle the situation? This is part of your leadership. This is another leadership question, but it is not like asking you to give a leadership example. They are asking you to reflect your real leadership qualities during a real work situation, or yes, a real work situation. You can answer that. You can answer that. Well, I haven't had any issue of this kind before, but if I will have a similar issue in the future, I will tackle it in this situation. You will also address it like following the STAR methodology. You will mention the situation. You will mention how you will react, how you will act actually, and you will mention what kind of expected outcomes that are going to emerge from this situation. If Abdullah or Hanan have different ideas, please, the floor is yours.
Actually, no, she can just say, I haven't been in such situation, but if something happened, I will deal with it XYZ. So deal in a leadership way, like as a leader, how you're gonna deal if such thing happens, and that's it.
Thank you very much. That was more than enough. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The next question is from Hanan Ahmed. Damoun.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you all for Salah, Hanan, and Abdullah for your support and dedicating your time. Actually, I have been seeing you since the first of application. You've been supporting all the applicants, so you are a true Cheveners. Thank you for that. My question is about the leadership. So I have two leadership examples. First one is we're in a local NGO where I started as a volunteer and then reached administration board, and as a project manager, my initiatives that I initiated reached thousands, and I had volunteers working under me, under my supervision. And in the other example, I don't have a senior managerial role, but my work has more impact as a lawyer. I had literally changed pupils' life, and this is where I found the gaps where I will be working on in the career essay. So which one of the essay of the examples you think should I talk about when I'm asked about leadership? And that's the question. And one more short question is the reference letters scored, or it's just a routine? Thank you all.
Thank you. In my opinion, I will go with the example that has more impact, not what your position was. Because when I was in my example, I was just a volunteer. I wasn't employee. So just choose. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
Sorry. So I was talking about the example, the one that has better and more positive impact as a leader, not as a position, your senior position, like you are manager, supervisor, and whatever. We are here not looking for the position. We are looking as a leader with a positive impact. Maybe you are a leader and you are a volunteer. You got my point. And then related to the second question, related to the referees, we are not sure if it's scored or not. So I can't say yes, it's scored, or or it's not. But I think, and I'm not sure, it's part of the process.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Hanan, for the answer.
Thank you.
The next question is from Ru'a Adel.
Hello, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. Well, I have two questions, if we may. The one they ask a lot of things about the leadership concept or the definition of the leadership. Should I just answer with one sentence or quote, or according to STAR approach? they need like يعني تعريف معين or example.
So defining leadership, when it says definition or define leadership, you should state what leadership in your own perspective. How do you define leadership? How do you know leadership, or how do you see leadership? That is not an example. So you define leadership from your perspective, or perhaps you could define leadership from a quote for someone who is favorite to you, maybe a president, a king, someone who's influencer, someone who's a philanthropist. This is the definition of leadership. Then they will ask you a question about leadership, and then you will be able to answer with an example following the STAR methodology. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have a comment. We cannot guarantee they're gonna ask you for a question related to leadership. So in my opinion, when they ask you define a leadership, what do you think, who is the leader? Give an example and then directly link it to your example and say, and this for me leader is XYZ, and during my time in X year when I was working, directly give an example, reflect that the skill that you just mentioned in your perspective, who is the leader, you did that thing during your example. You get my point? Give the definition, give the example. The example is the proof of the definition of the leadership that you just gave them. Because maybe you won't get the chance, they won't ask you anything about leadership and you want to talk about your leadership. So you are just a step before them. You will go to the leadership example directly within that question.
Okay, what are they prefer more? Professional work or activities like volunteering or something like that?
It is not about what they prefer. Like, the leader is the someone who found that there is a problem, there is a gap in a certain area, and they took the initiative to solve that problem to have a positive impact. This can be during your professional work. This can be during your volunteering. This can be whatever type of activity, internship, whatever. So having example as a volunteer will not give you a bonus over having something in your profession. Maybe the example that you have when you were an employee somewhere has better impact than the one that you did when you were a volunteer.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Mu'min.
Yes, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for this session. Quickly, I have two questions. Salah, following up on my question today in the Telegram group, when I asked about my application and how I couldn't upload my transcript and certificate, and how my referees did not get emails from the universities. My question is, based on your experiences applying to your respective universities, how long did it take you to get whether conditional or unconditional offers, and how has the experience been? Hasn't it been smooth, or did you face some difficulties and you had to go back and forth with emails? My second question quickly is, my second and third choices are the University of Aberdeen and Queen's University Belfast, or Queen's Belfast University. A lot of people said, Momo, don't go there. These are way too far. You're not going to enjoy the social aspect of your life there. So if it's possible, if you know somebody who graduated from one of these two universities, or you can connect me with them, so I can directly talk to them and see how their experiences have been. Or if you can tell me from your own experiences whether you studied in a remote university and how it's been for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Moment. As for your next second question, please make sure to write it down on the Telegram group, and then I will be able to find someone and maybe connect you with them, because I will not be able to remember who studied there. As for your first question regarding the reference letters, if you mean the reference letters for the interview for the Chevening and the educational certificates for the Chevening Scholarship, again, take them as copies with you to the interview. If you meant
No, I'm asking about, sorry, my university applications.
Yes. Regarding your universities, actually, this is the very first time I face such a university application that doesn't ask you to upload educational certificates or any other kinds of documents such as reference letters or something like that. But what what I encourage you to do and encourage everyone to do, if you apply to any university and you won't find any button where you can upload documents, try to email the admission office that you are currently applying to this X university and you are not seeing any button or any place where you should upload your documents, such as education certificates, such as your passport. What should you do? They are the best people to help you and guide you on what to do. This is number one. Number two, as for the reference letters, normally reference letters are and reference emails or requests for reference letters are being sent to your referees once you hit submit application. So while filling in your application, your referees will not be receiving any email. Once you submit your application, the system is automatic, which will automatically sends emails to your referees asking them to provide a reference letter on your behalf. So if you have submitted your application, your referees should have received emails by now. If you haven't submitted your applications, wait until you submit your applications and your referees will receive notifications. If you have submitted your applications and still your referees haven't received any notification, this could be one of two reasons. Either you have typed the email incorrectly, there is a mistype or typo, or you have typed it, but the email has reached your referees, but not into their inbox. Instead, it went to the spam or junk folder. If they have checked and there is no email in spam or junk folder, send an email to your people, to the admission officers at that university. Tell them that your referees still haven't received any notification regarding uploading or sending a reference letter on your behalf, and they will tackle that issue. Thank you so much, Momin. Just make sure to write down your next question in the Telegram group so that I can find people and maybe connect you with them. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
The next question is from Shihab.
Yeah, good evening to you all. Thank you, Salah, Hanan, Abdullah, for your valuable time, which is very appreciated. My question is talking about courses and how important is for our future career. So how important to mention professors when we are going to study XY module under their supervision. So how is it important to mention those professors, their publications, work, and their achievements for in the interview? That's my question.
Actually, it is really nice to tell them that we have X professor, he is the author of this book, he has XYZ, X number of publication in this field. I'm really interested to get instructed by him or by her, do research, my master project research with this professor. It is just another good reason why you chose that university.
Okay, thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I would very much like to highlight Abdullah's effort. Currently, he is taking and answering the emails and the questions in the chat box. Thank you very much, Abdullah. That's very thoughtful of you. Thank you so much. No problem. We have another question from Ghenwa Chamouni. She is raising her hand.
Last question.
Yes, this will be the last question. I would like to know, can you share with us what was your last question that you have asked the panel when you were in your interview? I would like to get some inspiration.
Well, for me, they asked me whether I have a question. I said, no, I have no question. Thank you very much for making this opportunity available to me. I think I was a bit rude, but then no, I just said, thank you, I have no question, because I didn't really have a question.
For me, I just asked the panelists for help for my friend because he lost access to his email. So I told them I have a friend and I want to help him, and he told me like just tell the panel that he has this problem. After he did his interview in the beginning, but then he didn't he couldn't upload something. So I asked for help and I gave them his name. And then I asked them, is it really cold in the UK?
What about
Is
you,
it that
Hanan?
bad, the
Even
weather?
if it is cold, it is better than our weather here. It's really getting hot,
Yeah.
and we are just, it's March.
Sorry, is it
It
not
is
that
March.
cold?
Everybody, I never been in Baghdad during summer. Everybody's saying just stay in June and July. You will melt.
You will
So
literally
take me
burn,
back to the
Hanan.
cold weather. I don't know.
You will literally burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, the question that I asked two questions because I never been into English school. I never watched movie. Like I just learned the language by default. So the first thing I said, I heard that the British accent is really difficult, and I usually think that my English is well. But do you think when I go to the UK, I will struggle with the language? One of them said, no, because you barely see the British people. London is really diverse if you're going to go to London. And it was true. There is a lot of Indian people. I couldn't meet a lot of white people. The second question I said, their food, the most famous one is fish and chips. And I don't like chips. Sorry, fish. I don't like seafood. I said, okay, what is the alternative that you have? I can eat the famous. So they suggested English tea, English breakfast, something. I couldn't go. I didn't try, by the way. Times
Good of
really
you.
flies.
Good of you
When
for
you
not
go,
trying the English breakfast. Good of you.
yeah, I didn't try actually.
Well, yes, while the English food is not that famous, while the English cuisine is not that famous in food, London is so diverse. You will hear more than 200 languages spoken in London. You will see plenty of communities, literally. And you will see something reminds you of home. There is in the central London between Hyde Park and Oxford Street, there's a place called Edgware Road. In Edgware Road,
Oh, Salah, don't remind us, please. We wanna move on.
no, I even after 4 years, I haven't moved on. So in Edgware Road, you will literally feel that you walk in Baghdad or in Kurdistan
Yes,
because all of
yes,
the shops and there's the stores, all of the signs are either in Kurdish or Arabic. So you will
yes.
literally feel home. And the food is so delicious and it's really, it comes really in good portions.
And the guys who like shisha, please stop quit shisha because it's too expensive there. One
Yes.
shisha costs you more than 20 pounds.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, is there any other
Okay, I
question?
think we almost done. I don't know, Moment, Shihab still have question, but we have Muhammad Khalil, maybe last question, and then
Oh, yes, Muhammad has just risen his hand. Yes,
Last
Muhammad, go
question,
ahead.
yeah. Thank you guys for this session. I appreciate your hard work with us. My question is, I didn't take any English certificate tests. So is it okay if I apply to universities? Does it affect my applications in the university or not? Thanks.
No, it won't affect your applications negatively. You can still apply for universities and you will receive a conditional offer if you have met all the conditions, if you have provided them with certificates, with IELTS or TOEFL, referees and blah, 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 everything, they will change the status of your offer from conditional to unconditional. I would like to mention something. There has been a recent important change for some courses at some UK universities. For example, Queen Mary University of London previously used to accept applications without IELTS or TOEFL or PTE at the time of application. This has now changed because I know there is a dentist, an Iraqi dentist who applied for the Queen Mary University of London. She didn't notice that Queen Mary University of London this year mandatorily requires an English language certificate along with the application at the same time, and she got rejected. So please make sure to read the information accurately, correctly, adequately to make sure that whether they ask for the English language certificate now at the moment of application or later. The majority of the UK universities accept it later, but some changes have happened for certain courses at certain universities. For example, the one that at Queen Mary University of London. Just wanted to highlight to make sure that you won't miss anything. All right, Abdullah, Hanan, do you have anything you want to say?
All good.
No, I just wish you guys all the best.
Me too.
Abdullah.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us and hope to see you in the UK soon. Maybe I and Hanan and Salah will be in Edgware Road next year to
With
meet you
you?
guys.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see you there. Prepare well and you have still time. So good luck with it.
Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, Hanan. I will definitely be in Switzerland as of September, and from September onwards, I will go to the UK regularly. So I very much look forward to seeing some of you in London, outside of London.
I'm not jealous at all.
Okay, there is someone who says, I had a question, guys, iPhone 2. We will take one question, yes, before we close this session.
I replied, I said, raise your hand.
I mean, maybe they don't know how to raise their hand. Please, unmute
Hello
yourself and
guys.
ask your question.
Okay, we got her. Yalla, go ahead.
Hello guys.
Hello.
Sorry for that. It's been late that I have a question if you have time, and thank you for all your precious time that you guys just gave us. We really appreciate that.
Yes,
Go
please
ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What the document is that I should bring with myself to the consulate at that day of the interview?
I would say take your educational documents, transcripts, certificates, a copy of your passport, and 2 reference letters. Just copies. Maybe you want to take originals, it's up to you, but they will ask you for copies. Just in case you faced technical glitch and you haven't been able to upload them before the deadline has passed.
And each one of us will have a different date.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. It's not a must that there will only be one participant that have the interview.
No,
Sorry?
there is during the same day there is a lot of interview, up to 4 to 5 interviews in the morning until 3 p.m. or 4 p.m.
Okay, thank you a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I would say
Thank you.
special thank you to Hanan, special thank you to Abdullah for facilitating this Zoom session. Thank you for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a goodbye. We will be staying in touch over our Telegram account. Thank you very much and have a good night. But before leaving, I will just take a screenshot and I will post it into our Telegram group so that it's kind of
Yeah, the one who can open their camera, open your camera.
Yes, actually,
I
wanted
remember, you know, I joined one of the mentorship program. And Abdullah was a mentor and I was an applicant. I took a screenshot. Abdullah, Diara, and me, and there was another lady from Georgia. During the farewell party of Chevening, I saw that lady. I said, your face is familiar to me. I got the screenshot and I just found that she was Maya from Georgia. So yes, try to document everything. I have a highlight on my Instagram. I name it Chevening Journey. I literally posting everything. Nobody knows what I'm talking about until I got shortlisted and I traveled to the UK and it was a like story. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just actually wanted to mention this earlier, but I was a little bit shy because I didn't want to embarrass everyone. So let's take a photo. Those who can, those who are willing to
Gulan
turn
did
their
it.
cameras
Thank
on,
you.
please do so. We will take a screenshot. We will post it into our Telegram channel.
Woman also did. Hello.
Yes.
It's nice
Ladies
to
and
see you
gentlemen.
guys.
Yeah. Like.
Tabarak.
When I
Nice to
when
see
I
you.
say cheese, hi Tabarak. Tabarak is from Diyala. When I say cheese, say cheese.
Hi,
So I can
everyone.
take the screenshot.
Yeah. Salah, we won't say cheese. We say chevening.
Chevening, yes, chevening, not cheese, yes.
Okay, while you are saying Chevening, I will take a screen record and
Okay.
you take the what called screenshot.
Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3. Chevening.
Chevening.
Yes.
Like guys, I wish you really all the best. I hope to see you doing very well during the interview. Make us proud, make your family proud. And if you didn't get it, don't lose hope. You have another year. You can apply again and again, just like Salah did. And if you have any question, we are more than happy and we're willing to answer all the questions.
Thank you very much, ladies
now,
and
by now,
gentlemen.
we are expecting more passion and energy, guys. Go and prepare the questions.
Yes. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night and Ramadan
Night.
Kareem. Bye.
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 Bye.